Fellow YouTubers. Nothing like a little bit of guitar to start off the video. So, what is crack-a-lackin', fellow YouTubers? How you cool cobras doing this fine Sunday afternoon? Yeah, buddy. So, when people find out I have Asperger's, I get mixed reactions. Some of the reactions I get, oh, I had no idea, you could have fooled me. Other reactions I get, and I quote, you have Asperger's? Oh, I feel so sorry for you. Don't. Granted, having Asperger's sucks, but don't feel sorry for me. There are people out there who have it way worse. I try to be humble about my struggles, but, you know, like everybody else, I bitch about it. It's perfectly natural to bitch about what you're struggling with, so find ways to fix it. See, if you don't get it right on the fucking fret, dude, it's gonna sound like shit. fun you can have with a guitar. I'll tell you what, YouTube, it's been a hot minute since I've had my guitars actually working, so I'm not gonna lie, this does feel pretty badass to be able to play again. I have no idea what the fuck tuning this is. Standard, I guess. Huh. Just for shits and giggles, let's try playing it behind the head. Oh, wait a second. That didn't work out so well. Nah. That didn't work out so well. Oh, the best part of it is when I get told you need to get laid. Like, yeah, some pussy would be nice, provided she's in her 20s and has great chemistry with me, and you know. But here's the best part of it: I could get laid whenever I wanted to. Have you heard this guitar playing? Have you seen these muscles? Have you seen my subscription count on YouTube? your guitars fixed, so you can be amazed. Now you get a good amp and a decent guitar. The amp I am using is a Fender Mustang amp with built-in effects. It gets the job done, you know. It's not super expensive, but it's not super cheap either. It's somewhere in the mid-range, you know. And the nice thing about this is you have all the effects you want. You don't have to clutter your stage with a shit ton of pedals. You know, you sit there, click, 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 you know. Yeah. Guitar pedals are cool, but you know, when your stage gets too cluttered with pedals and amps and cables, you know, it doesn't give you much room to move around on stage and play for your crowd. So sometimes having an amplifier with built-in pedal effects saves you some room on stage. Now the sponsor is free advertisement. I had no idea what the fuck that thing was down there. Sometimes you try to, you know. I'm not claiming to be the greatest at guitar playing, mind you, but I enjoy playing it, so that's gotta count for nothing like blistering the fingers for a bit. I tell you what, I love playing guitar and I'm damn good at it. I'm starting to show improvement on it at least. Been a while since the tubes to see me play with the BC Rich. They're just like, whoa, it's like a blast from the past. And anyone who says that I suck at guitar playing, they're probably just jealous they don't have a guitar to play on. Or better yet, no, seriously, I hear it all the time on YouTube. Your guitar playing sucks. Then I bust out my guitar and start playing, and then they see me getting better at it, and that's what really pisses my trolls off. Their shitty negative comments are not stopping me from, you know, getting better at guitar or enjoying my craft. Now later on, I'll be doing a cooking video for YouTube. Some of you might know what I'm cooking up. Some of you might not know. I'll let that be a surprise for those of you who don't know. But I guarantee you my next cooking video is going to be diggity dank. Just need to acquire a little thing of butter so that I can work my magic on the stove. Now, in regards to gender relations, YouTube, this is something I want you to think about. If you're a dude and you can cook, you're an instant ladies man. Chicks love a dude who can cook. That being said, dudes love a chick who can cook. Not trying to sound sexist, so ladies, calm down. Okay. That being said, that's one of many things that women and men have in common. And what have I said on my channel before? If you focus on what makes men and women similar, all of a sudden understanding the opposite sex becomes 1,000 times easier. You're so much focused on what makes you different and which side does more, blah, 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 you know, or which side has to suffer with, blah, blah, you know. Outside of all that crap, you focus on the one thing, the similarities. Huh? Yeah. Excuse me. Got some mountain lightning. Oh. You know, when people are being assholes, nothing you can do about it. Sometimes ignoring them is a lot better for you, I guess, than even acknowledging it. Because trolls are just like little kids in that aspect. You know, they do shit to piss you off because to them it's a game. How far can we make them react? And if you think about it like that, all of a sudden trolls become laughable. You know, and really my trolls are the saddest individuals on the planet. People going back to what I said earlier in the video, when I get the reactions from people, they find out I have Asperger's, they're like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for you. I'm like, don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for the trolls who harass me on YouTube. These are some really sad individuals. They claim to hate me so much, but they dedicated an entire subreddit to talking smack. It's like, wow. And here's the best part of it. They'll pay to talk shit on my live stream because they think I'm not going to delete them. Well, if their comment crosses the line to some extent where it's just not cool, you know. That being said, I think the word retard should only be allowed to be used by people who are retarded. Think about it. How many times have you heard African Americans say, hey, that's our word? So you flip it and be like, instead of, you know what I'm saying? I'm serious, dude. Like, hear me out for a second. Hear me out for a second. If in our society we're being told that if you use the word retard, you're politically incorrect. People who are special needs, you teach them, okay, that's a bad word, you shouldn't say it. You know, if someone calls you that, they're being mean to you. So they react to it differently, don't they? Hear me out for a second. If you got someone with special needs, someone calls them a retard, and they say, hey, fuck you, that's not nice. Versus, thank you for noticing, have a wonderful day. Huh? You'd be like, you can't say that because that's our word. Oh, God damn it. But really, white people should not be using the N word either, because not only is it racist, but dig this fact, man. When Scottish and Irish immigrated to the United States of America for the first time, granted they weren't forced like African Americans were forced, but they still came to this country as immigrants. And they also got called the N word too. So think about that next time before you white cracker, honky Casper looking motherfuckers start using that because you want to be all thug and gangster. Like, dude, really? Fucking stupid. Now, some people are going to go, wait a minute, if the N-word is offensive to blacks, why do they use it? It's a reference to a joke a comedian made way back in the day. This is before rap ever came around. We had rock and roll and such. And, this black comedian was using it in his act, and at the time it was seen as culturally shocking and offensive. Like, I cannot believe, you know what I'm saying. But then it became a thing where they're just like, you know what, people are using it as an insult, we're going to take it and make it our own word. That's what I'm getting at. People want to call you a retard to use it to insult you because you have Asperger's or Down syndrome or fetal alcohol syndrome. What the fudge ever, dude. Severe ADHD. You know, that's what I'm saying, YouTube. Like, you can look at it a certain way. You got these people trying to fight it to stop a word, blah, blah, blah. There are tons of offensive words out there, YouTube. For example, the word cunt, extremely offensive. Women hate that word, yet I've never failed to notice that women call each other that all the time when they're super angry. Excuse me. Got a hankering for some nicotine. So let me load my tobacco pipe. Which ain't that the kicker? Ain't that the kicker, YouTube? I'm not trying to be offensive. Think about it. Women hate the C word, but I've heard women use it on each other several times, which really makes you think. No. Well, think about it. If a man uses that word, it's seen as offensive. But if a woman uses that word, nobody says shit. They're like, oh, well, she's just slut-shaming and, she's pissed off at another female. Just let her do her thing. She'll lose steam eventually. I'll give you an example. I was watching this female comedian on YouTube by the name of Erica Rhodes. And she's on stage just talking trash about men, about how stupid we are. And then it's just like, oh, you're a typical female comedian, I see. Hardy her. And she made this one joke about how it's not necessary to tell an 80-year-old man that calling a woman sweetheart is demeaning. But then she literally was a hypocrite on her own fucking moral, if you will. Because in the next couple of sentences, she's like, oh yeah, she traveled to Minnesota because she's a comedian, blah, blah, blah. And then she said she ran into a taxi driver. And she said, oh my gosh, she was such a sweetheart. And I'm like, didn't you just get done? Okay, whatever. Get to the punchline. This chick isn't that funny. But towards the end of it, she said something that made you think, and I don't know. The way she said it, you know, it was like, okay, that, yeah. I don't know how to explain it but like she said it in a way that made sense. Like life's full of assholes and unpredictability and stupid shit, and you know, people. She said people are too uncomfortable to talk about things like, and that's the problem with our society. And I'm like, that's about the truth of it, actually. You talk about men getting domestically abused, everyone shuts up. They're just like, no, unheard of. Men are always the one that do it. A little too far? Look at Johnny Depp's case. Nobody believed him until he had physical recording of his wife's voice taunting him. He played it to the courts, and they're like, well, that's evidence enough. And then people were upset by it, just like with Johnny Depp. They demanded that, she take down her movie roles and all this other shit. But it didn't last very long. At least not as long as it would have lasted if Johnny Depp would have been actually guilty. If Johnny Depp himself would have actually been guilty, it would have continued. There would have been outcries for it for months on end. And that's because society sees women as mother-like in caregiving. On top of that, the female form is overly sexualized in our society. So the combination of those two things, which is why women get away with a lot more crap than men do. Which is why we have these double standards where, men are not supposed to hit women, but women can hit men all day, every day. Nothing you can do about it, just accept it, I guess. And, I'd never hit a woman unless she had a gun to my head. Plain and simple. At that point, my life's in danger. It's called being the bigger man. It sucks, but that's part of life. Well, think about it. Like, if you walk up to a chick and say, hey, honey, nice ass. And if she's offended by it, she could turn around and open-handed slap you. Just, how dare you, you fucking pig, you piece of shit motherfucker. Fuck you, blah, 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 blah. Right? But if a chick walks up to a dude and says, nice ass, and he slaps her, she can get pissed off at him and say, well, oh, it's just a compliment. Jeez, do you hit your wife too? Because he could be like, madam, I have a wife. How dare you? And she turns around, well, what the fuck? You hit your wife too, you piece of shit? My point being is, if it's not okay for men to hit women, then it should not be okay for women to hit men. And if women are allowed to check out the opposite sex and make comments without being judged too much for it, then men shouldn't have to go through that crap either. And maybe she'll get judged by other women, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, stick around for that badass cooking video, man, because when it pops up. My last one uploaded, I made a bacon cheeseburger with marinated grasshoppers in it and called it the Get to the Hopper bacon cheeseburger. And it's shit I do for YouTube. Anyways, YouTube, I do appreciate y'all watching the video. And if you have a disorder of your own, doesn't matter if it's Asperger's or what have you, just remember you could have it worse. Even if you have like the worst day of your life, struggling with whatever the fuck you're struggling with, in some way, shape, or form, it could be worse. Anyways, tubes, I'll catch you